Hey everyone, Nicole Farrell, Kachina Yoga here, and today I want to talk about breathing and the power of pranayama. And I want to explain a little bit about the breath and how important it is, and how if you are not in control of your breathing, you are probably struggling in life. And so I want to kind of give a little bit of information as to what makes that true. So first of all, pranayama, I'm sure if you've ever done anything with yoga or you've ever read anything on meditation, you've heard the term pranayama, which is an ancient Sanskrit word. And I want to break down the definition of prana and yama, which they work together, so that we can understand what we're dealing with. But in breaking down the definition, you have to remember that this is an ancient language, more than 5,000 years old, and we today are speaking English, which is the new kid on the block. So it's like going from something so powerful down to something so dumb. I mean, let's be honest, English is the most ass-backwards language on the planet. And that's why when people come here and we say you need to go learn English, it's so difficult because the words and the rules don't add up. It's just kind of like grunting, to be honest with you. So anyways, when you break down the term prana in Sanskrit, to get the closest that I can get for English, and this is if you understand the words that I say here, like when I give you breath or vitality or energy or life source, that you totally do understand what those words mean as well in order to get even close to breaking it down. That's why when sometimes people speak, say, Spanish, and they'll say, I can't find the word that has enough depth in English to describe what I'm trying to say, because it just doesn't get that deep. So we got to use all these words and definitions to add up to that one word, prana. And it's a lot. And when I say like breath, like you're taking in air, is the lowest form of the prana, is the actual wind air that you're taking in. But here in Western society, they teach us that, when you breathe, it's just H2O, it's just, that's all it is. But that's not all it is. It does so much more, because the breath, just on the physical level, comes in, goes into your lung, goes into your heart, which goes to all the cells in your body and all the organs and does what it needs to do to take the nutrients. It also comes in on mental and spiritual level as well. And when it comes in, when you're breathing in, you're also not just taking in life source of breath, air, you're also taking in life source energy, and life source vitality. And all of these things work through different systems in your body, not just your lymphatic system, but you have an etheric system. I mean, you have a mental system. You have systems that go through your body. Like your nerves do something that are completely different than what the veins in your body do, which is completely different than what the chakras do, but they all work together. So you have to understand that when you're taking in the prana, it's doing something for your nerves. It's doing something for your chakras. It's doing something for your physical body as well, in the form of air or wind. So knowing that is like life source and connection to divine energy, why would you not want to follow it up with ayama, which is the definition of control or expansion or retention of the life source? And ancient yogis teach that your life is not measured by the days that you live. Like people will say, so-and-so lived to 100 years, or so-and-so lived to so-and-so years. But it's more so measured by the number of breaths that you take. You come in with a particular number. And the way we breathe now is so uncontrolled. It's very shallow and rapid and fast-paced, and all of that is a direct, reaction of different emotions, and being insecure, being nervous, not being confident in who you are. And it's a lot of things that go along, like I say, with the mental and the spiritual. But all of these things all work together, and you breathing it in, when you're able to control it, you can not suppress, I don't want to use that word, but you can control all of that. You have power over that. All these emotions can affect you. Your nerves are calm. You can control your nerves with the breath. You can just get rid of that the emotions and things that go along with it, because you can control desires with the breath. So you can eventually get your mind so controlled that you are able to just receive universal consciousness, which is different than universal energy. The universal energy is coming in regardless, but we're just breathing so shallow we don't know what we're doing. But it's coming, and now you can control bringing it in and holding it and expanding it, so that you can, take care of your body, mind, and soul to be able to receive the universal consciousness that comes after that. So it's really interesting when I think about how, this has been held from everybody. We don't even realize that we don't breathe correctly. And then we even have reactions to it to show us, like asthma and hiccups or headaches or nerve irritation. Things can just set you off really easily. And I've heard the description of your life is kind of like you are a chariot, a chariot driver, and they have 2 horses. And I read this in the Thurgy beliefs, and then in the yogic as well, but both describe it as a chariot. In the yoga, they describe it as prana on one horse and desires on the other. And whichever horse is stronger, if you're in balance, you're just going like this, but whichever horse is stronger in their will is going to be the way that the chariot goes. So if you're not in control of your desires, because you're not in control of your breath, and you're not in control of your emotions and everything that it can help you with, that desires horse is going to have you all over the place. Now, say you have a desire for food or sex or gambling or drugs or alcohol or gossiping, whatever it is, control, whatever your desire is, every time it gets set off, because they got triggers all over to keep you in your lower selves. There are triggers everywhere, in the food, and the advertisement, and the TV, and the music, and the movies, and the books you read, and the styles of clothes. They got triggers and everything to even the what do you call it? The little other industries like porn and adult entertainment and everything. They got something to trigger you. So whatever it is that you are allowing to control, I'm not saying none of these things don't exist, but whatever it is you're allowing to control because you haven't figured out what triggers you and why it's doing it and what the cause was, then your desires horse is going to be in control. Versus if you can control your breath and get into meditation, which is going to help you to get deeper and deeper into, which is going to connect you back to your higher source, into higher beings, then you're always going to be over here. You can get this other horse to act right, and you can control all of your desires, and you're going to be more in control of yourself versus allowing something else to hijack you. And that's what's really happening to everybody, because we don't understand the breath, and we don't understand that when you stop breathing, you lose consciousness, and that consciousness happens on all levels. Like, it's not just that you physically lose consciousness, you lose your spiritual connection as well, because you're not in tune, you're not quiet, you're not still enough to receive anything, you're not clean enough to receive anything, because you have all of these blockages, and you're not open enough, and you have to get to that point in order to get there. And when we can actually understand just how serious that is, and begin to practice and get deeper into our meditation and get deeper into our connection, Max, get over here, and get deeper into our connection, then we're going to struggle. So I just think that if everybody takes a second to understand the breath and to just get a good grasp on it, and do some more studying and practice, that you really will benefit. Because once you pass the controlled breathing, and you get to a rhythmic controlled stage, then you can move into the next stage of yoga, which is when all your senses are brought under control and you've mastered this avatar that you're in. So I want to show you the full breath just real quick, and we'll be done, and just the complete yogic breath and how it works. This is something that you can use to get you deeper into meditation, because you're going to take your mind off of the thoughts that are coming through. You're going to be focused on the breathing, which is, even though it's a focal point, it's not a focal point that's a distraction. It's a focal point that's helping you to receive the energies and the life force that you're trying to bring in anyway. So in the complete yogic breath, we want to remember that everything we're taking in is energizing our body, our mind, and our soul. And that as we're scooping it in, we want to bring it all in as much as we can, because this is what elevates us. This is what heals us. This is what flows through us and to vitalize us. So we want to remember that we're doing that. And then we want to hold that. Why would we not want to hold that? So we want to hold that. We're going to hold it for 6 seconds. We're going to breathe it in for 6 seconds. We're going to hold it for 6 seconds. And then we're going to exhale all of the toxicity that was in us before we took that breath. We're going to use that new breath, that universal breath, and we're going to push that out. All the toxic, noxious crap is going to be gone with it. And we'll do that. You can do that 6 times. I'm going to take you through it and show you what it looks like, but you will do that 6 times before you go into meditation. And if you're not a person who has a problem getting into meditation easily, and you have a pretty good breathing, just do it whenever you can. Just whenever you have a few moments, in the morning when you wake up, whatever. Just make sure that you get that breathing under control, because the more you do it and the more you get deeper into your meditation, the more you get deeper connected, the more you're able to control these desires and these emotions and heal and do the work that you need to do so that you can ascend and elevate into your higher self. So when we're doing that, we're thinking about all of those things, and that makes us want to do our breathing exercises. So go to the complete yogic breath. I want you to put your hands on your waist, and I want you to breathe in deeply to the count of 6, very slowly. And as you breathe in, I want you to feel, Max, I want you to feel your belly begin to rise first at the beginning part of your breath, and then I want you to feel your lungs kind of push your chest up, and then at the very end of your breath, as you're grabbing the last part that you possibly can, I want you to feel your lungs expand out, like outwards. So we'll breathe in to the count of 6 with our belly expanding, our lungs are expanding and pulling our chest up, and our chest expanding out like we have wings. And we'll to 6, and then we'll hold it to the count of 6. And then we'll exhale it out from our chest coming back in, to our chest coming down, to our belly coming down, all the way flat. We can feel it up against our spinal cord. It's so flat, and we release all that toxicity out to the count of 6. So I'll just go through 1, and then I'll let you do it on your own. Ready? And you would do 6 of those. By then you should be deep in without worrying about the bills you got to pay or what's supposed to happen yesterday but you forgot to do and what you need to do next week. You should be deep in and concentrating on yourself. Okay, I hope I kept this under 15 minutes, but if not, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to share that with you all and let me know. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and leave comments and questions in the comment section, and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible, okay? All right, y'all have a great day. Namaste.